Hello, Dr. Coker here, and this is a guide to Baelsar's Wall. This dungeon was released in patch 3.5, and it's the last MSQ dungeon before beginning Stormblood. Please like and subscribe. I'm releasing guides for every story dungeon and trial in the game, so you always know what's coming. Let's get started. Before the first boss, the trash is pretty standard, but it's worth pointing out that these annoying Magitek sky armors can't be tanked. They fixate on random players, so it's probably best to kill them first. The first boss is Magitek Predator. He'll often do a heavy hit on the tank called Magitek Claw. Use mitigation and healing as needed. He'll sometimes spawn adds called Sky Armor Reinforcement. These can't be tanked, they will fixate on random players and can do a lot of damage, so they should be killed ASAP. Magitek Missile is an ability you won't see on the cast bar, but it puts a marker over players' heads and they should get away from other players before they are blasted with AoE damage. Magitek Ray is a simple line AoE attack, just get out of the marker to avoid damage. The second boss is Armored Weapon. He'll cast Launcher, which hits everyone for moderate unavoidable damage, just heal through it. Dynamic Sensory Jammer is one where all players get these 3 red shields and a brief debuff. During this time, do not move or cast anything. If you do, then when the buff wears off you will take heavy damage and be stunned for a few seconds. Diffractive Laser is a simple circular AoE damage ability, just avoid the circle. If this is simultaneous with Dynamic Sensory Jammer, just sit still until that is over, because the Jammer's effect is worse and you will likely have time to move out of the circle after it anyway. Distress Beacon is one where he calls a large number of weak adds. The tank can just pick them up and everyone can mow them down easily. Magitek Bit is one where Magitek Bits go to the edges and fire a grid of lasers. Just stand in a safe spot between lasers. The final boss is the Griffin. He'll often cast Beak of the Griffin, which does moderate unavoidable damage to everyone, just heal through it. Flash Powder is one where you'll see a red eye. Just face away from it until the cast finishes to avoid the damage and stun. Sanguine Blade is one where you need to immediately run beside the boss before it strikes. It deals a lot of damage, does a heavy knockback, covers most of the floor, and gives you barely enough time to avoid it. Sloppy! Claw of the Griffin is a simple heavy hit on the tank, just use mitigation and healing as needed. Lion's Head deals unavoidable damage repeatedly while dropping swords on the arena. As soon as all the swords can be targeted, all players should destroy the sword in the middle. They will explode after some time, and this will create a safe zone to avoid the damage. Note that sometimes during the chaos of Lion's Head, he will use Flash Powder, so you need to keep an eye out for that red eye. Restraint Collar is one where the healer will get an orange target marker, then become unable to do anything. Other players need to rush over and break the restraint so the healer can rejoin the fight. Big Boot is an ability that does a heavy knockback on the random player, usually into an AoE marker, so just get out of it as soon as you can. And that's it for Baelsar's Wall. Have fun, get ready for Stormblood, and see you next time.